Hi guys, it's absolutely boiling today. We've just been sorting out wardrobes and stuff like that, and yeah, I thought I would cool down with what I think is a pale ale from the Hoppebräu brewery. Reviewed a few of their beers now already, link download to their playlist, and yeah, I think it's essentially like a gypsy sort of brewer and a very small operation. But if you want to find out more, links are down below. And this is the Wuide Hehna, which I think is like the Bavarian for wild hen or something like that. It's not typical German from what I can gather. And yeah, this is a beer that is brewed with the Magnum hop, and then also used are the American hops Citra and Amarillo. So definitely sounds, in terms of a hop build, sort of like a pale ale. But yeah, really nice little bottle, 330ml. Love the artwork on these, like the nice sort of watercolour background with hand-drawn illustrations there. And it's sort of like, you know, celebrating like the wild side of Bavaria and like nature textbooks. That's what it reminds me of. And each beer is pretty much named after, you know, an animal. So yeah, look forward to seeing what this is like. I do enjoy my pale ales, as most of you know. And yeah, so let's get it into the glass. And yeah, that's what I was expecting. It's nice and gold. There we go. I think I could be a little bit aggressive with this. Doesn't seem to be overly active. And yeah, that's a nice amount of head. So in terms of colour, to me it's got the ever so slight haziness about it. Could probably just be the chill haze because it is pretty much fresh out the fridge. I had a phase where I drank every beer for review at room temperature to get more flavours, but I do enjoy it when a beer is nice and cold. Well, it depends on the style, especially with pale ales. I like them a bit colder. If this was like a stout or something, I would probably just drink that at room temperature. But yeah, a nice golden colour. Got a slight honeyness about it. Yeah, it looks a bit like a crossover of a pale ale and a lager. And nice amounts of carbonation that roll up to a finger's worth of foamy white head, which seems to have settled down nicely. So let's give this a bit of a sniff. And I definitely get those hops straight away. Nothing too pungent or anything like that, but they're definitely there. You do pick them up. I'm getting that sort of like a slight savoury earthiness of Hellas beer, maybe. Which this could just probably be a hopped up Hellas beer, which is pretty much, you know, a German version of a pale ale, I suppose. But yeah, I get a little bit of honey sweetness there. It's got a little bit of biscuityness to it. Like sort of maybe like short, I don't know, is it biscuity? I definitely get like sort of like a lager malt there. Might have shortbread, that's what I was looking for. I think I nearly said short crust. But yeah, nice, the hops are working nicely, not too overpowering. And yeah, it smells like a really nice, well-balanced beer. Apologies about that big brain fart there. Anyway, let's give it a taste. Prost. That is really nice and smooth. Not smooth as like an English bitter or creamy, like a heavier beer, that sort of thing, but it's got this like nice, almost slightly velvety feel as it goes in the mouth. Carbonation is nice, not too active, but doesn't sit back in the background. And you get that slight, like ever so slight tropical fruit flavour from those hops. But the hops come more in the bitterness, I find, on this one. The IBUs for this are 4.1% and the IBUs are 35. Yeah, it's not a really bitter beer, but it's got that nice crisp bitterness at the end. To be honest, this reminds me of a classic British pale ale or golden ale, that sort of thing, where the hops are there, but they're not as pronounced as what you'd get from like America, that sort of thing. In fact, all the beers that I've tried from this guy do tend to taste more like traditional, like British ales. I mean, I had the IPA, I recorded the IPA yesterday. That reminds me of like a British caramelly, cakey sort of IPA with a slight hint of, you know, hops there. I've had the brown ale, I think it was, which, you know, reminds me of a really nice British real ale, brown ale, that sort of thing. And this, yeah, it's like a golden ale. It's like something you'd probably find from like Jennings or something like that. That's what it reminds me of, but it's got a little bit more character to it, a little bit more bite to it. Because was it the Jennings Cumberland that I reviewed like last year? I think then I re-uploaded it earlier this year. That really didn't have anything going for it. It was just easy drinkable, but really quite bland. One of those ones where you're not paying attention, you're just sinking it down. This actually has a little bit more flavour, but not that much. But it's not a bland beer. It's really nice, crisp, refreshing. It's more on the like Hellas territory than a pale ale, and I don't know, you know, I don't know what the recipe for this beer was, but it tastes like those hops were just there to add a little bit of character and not to steal the show. But yeah, that's a really got a nice like sort of watermelon taste then on the back end. So there are fruity characters there. But yeah, it reminds me of like a blonde ale, traditional golden ale, blonde ale, that sort of thing. I recently, just going off track, posted on my Instagram a review for the Lancaster Blonde Ale that I reviewed absolutely ages ago, but I only just got around to putting that review on Instagram. And I'm getting images of that sort of beer in my head, but it's got a little bit more character and a little bit more flavour. But yeah, if you like your British golden ales, then definitely give this one a try. I think the Hoppebräu's beers are available, because if you go onto the website there's English language options, so that always tells me that they're at least trying to get their beers outside of Germany. And yeah, very solid, nothing really to it, but it's not boring, if you get what I mean, and very easy drinkable. You could definitely session this on a day like this. Perfect for summer. It's perfect for any occasion, any weather. Food pairings, it's versatile enough for you to have it with a curry, have it with, you know, fish and chips, have it with your roast dinner, that sort of thing. Just a very easy, simple golden ale, for my palate anyway. And yeah, easily an 8 out of 10 from me. Very, very solid stuff. So if you want to find out more about this beer with the actual correct info on what the style is supposed to be, links are down below. Check out my Hoppebräu playlist as well. Hopefully in future I'll be adding more beers to that playlist, because I'm very interested by this guy and what he's doing. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you're on there. Subscribe for more beer reviews. And I hope next time you see me, you'll be drinking something good. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you later.